Hello everyone and welcome to Logo Evolution / Logo History. This episode we're going to be looking at Microsoft, and if you're new to this series I'd just like to have a little bit of a spiel right now, but this series basically showcases the evolution and history of logos from different things, from companies to products to services and those in between. And of course we are going to be talking about Microsoft. Microsoft, the word, is a little bit of a kind of trivia kind of thing. Microsoft itself, the name, actually stems from two different words. The first is microcomputer, or microcomputer, computers, and microcomputer is actually the term used for home computers. Of course you have the big base computers, the size of rooms and so forth. So to differentiate that, you have what are known as microcomputers. You may call things like smartphones and so forth nanocomputers, but I could be completely wrong on that front. But that is basically that. Microcomputer and software, which is what SOFT stands for. And that is literally how Microsoft came to be. It came out as a company producing software. It was a big booming business at that point in time. And they created stuff like Microsoft Word, and they bought quite a lot of services and other products at the time, including what would then become MS-DOS, which was bought over as a kind of I think it was like an old DOS product, which was created by another company, and then two or three other companies bought it, like IBM bought their own version. Some other companies bought their own version of this DOS system, and Microsoft bought their own version of the DOS system and called their product MS-DOS. So we will look at the first logo. This is April 1975, and this is what the logo looks like. And it's kind of quirky to look at, if I do say so myself. It probably wouldn't look too out of place on a drum kit nowadays. It's kind of stripy. It's got quite a lot of interesting stuff going on, and when you look at it long enough, you actually start to think that things are starting to appear because of all the stripes and so forth. It's very interesting to look at, and you can kind of notice how the words are separated, micro and soft. That is basically adding to the fact that Microsoft is actually a combination of two different words. So Microsoft have tried to showcase that right here. So we are the home of microcomputer software. We are Microsoft, kind of thing. That is basically the gist of the logo in that front. I'm not too sure if I do like this too much because of its stripes and so forth. Of course, it is a 70s logo in that front, so a lot of logos were kind of weird and wacky in that way. You can kind of see the O's here. Kind of looks like something you see on Looney Tunes. When the cartoons start up, kind of thing, if you know what I mean. The title screens, you can kind of see that going on right here, and have the Warner Brothers logo in the center, kind of thing. That'd be quite fun. And also there's kind of an 8 thing going on. It's just how it's aligned, and maybe Microsoft were predicting that they would release a product called Windows 8. I don't know. That's just a stupid joke there. But we will get on to another thing before we go. First, we will show this. This is actually an elongated logo, which I found on Logopedia when researching for this stuff, and I've never actually seen this before. Every time I've went onto Google to find this, and you kind of see how the lines just don't do too great on a small resolution, especially when it's bloody like this. But it's it's literally just a word mark at this rate. It's kind of weird because I've never seen that anywhere else on Google or anything like that. So I'm pretty sure Logopedia might have edited this in some way. I don't know. But hee haw. We go to 1980 now, and this one I actually think is quite an interesting one to look at. I actually kind of like it in some ways. And again, if I've not already mentioned this, I think this kind of logo may look nice on a drum kit or something. because of just how interesting it looks like. It's kind of like something you see in a rock band or something like that. And also, if this logo was introduced today, if Microsoft was new today and they'll use this logo, I'm pretty sure they could use this on stuff like gaming equipment, like gaming keyboards, gaming mice, maybe a gaming console, I don't know. Because it's got that kind of like sharp edge kind of quirkiness to it. It's got that kind of like hardcore gaming look to it. It wouldn't look out of place today, I don't think. You can kind of see in this logo and the previous logo that the F and the T kind of connect in some way, which is kind of interesting. And yeah, I've got no complaints about this one. I actually kind of like it. Of course, it is kind of 1980s-ish, but I've got no complaints with this one. It's actually quite nice to look at. It's quite quirky. It's quite abstract in that way. We then go to 1982, and we go to this very ugly looking one, I've got to say. Basically, it's a word mark, fully bold, and you've got this kind of interesting thing going on with the O in the centres. I think some people would have considered this a crocodile kind of thing, a crocodile O. You can kind of see the teeth and stuff going on. It's got stripes going on, kind of like an IBM logo in that way. It's got the stripes and so forth. This logo was actually used for a short time period, but yeah, it's kind of meh. I don't really know, but we will see how this logo works in action in Windows 1.0. This is the boot screen for Windows 1.0, the first ever release version of Windows. You see it's version 1.01 because the beta version was actually 1.0. But you can kind of see the big logo and its 16-bit nature and niceness in that way. It's I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. Meh. We then go on to 1987 and we enter the stage January 1987 even. This is the very memorable logo we probably all remember from our childhoods and so forth. If we ever bought a new computer or a new copy of Windows or something like that kind of thing, we may have been very noteworthy when it came to this logo kind of thing. Of course, there's not too much to say about this. You can kind of see a little Pac-Man thing going on with the O in the centre. Apparently there's sources that say that this is supposed to act on the first logo that we looked at, in which the words are kind of separated by this kind of like dash in the middle that kind of makes it all look like a Pac-Man thing. Microsoft. But yeah, you can kind of see what's going on here. You can kind of see that the F and the T are now connected in a different way. They're now connected through the line in the centre. And yeah, there's nothing else to say. It's very bold. It's memorable. We all know it. This is how the logo looked like in action. This is Windows 2.0, 2.13 that is. That's probably like 2 or 3 updates in, and you can kind of see that 16-bit nature again. You can kind of see this in the Windows 3.0 logo as well. It's interesting how they did this, probably just to try and not make it too noticeable, but it just blends into the background a little bit. You know, just showcasing that, hey, this is a Microsoft product. Hope you enjoy this kind of thing. But yeah, that's just about that. So 1987, 1990. This actually shows the same logo inverted. You know, not too different. It's not as if it rebranded or anything like that. It's just this is how the same logo looked in a different colour kind of thing. Of course, because the logo is black by its nature, it can be reincorporated in other areas. So, you know, different backgrounds, as we already saw in the Windows 3.0 boot screen, you can kind of see it's how it's changed colour kind of thing. And whatever way you try to change it, the colour at least, it's still going to be the Microsoft logo kind of thing. There's nothing too different with that. This is the way the logo would be incorporated into boot screens in 2001, especially with the Windows XP boot screen. You can kind of see the Microsoft logo in the corner there. Hello. But yeah, it's very tiny, but it's still noticeable. You can kind of still notice it as a Microsoft logo. It's not as if it's been changed fonts or so forth. It's still the same thing, not too different there. This is the last incarnation that we see of the logo in action. Windows 7. Can you see the logo at the bottom there? Of course, Windows 7 would be the last operating system in the Windows family to actually see this logo, because of course in 2012 we would see a little bit of a rebrand go on. And here we are with the rebrand. You can kind of still see that the F and the T are connected in some way. This is the current logo we can see today, and there's still some essence of the original logo. Probably wouldn't look too bad if they actually did the old logo some favours and italicized the letters a little bit, but you can kind of see now the Microsoft logo now has a word, an icon mark or logo mark or something. I can't remember what you call this, but you've got the word mark, always a thing at Microsoft, and then also you've got a little bit of an icon thing going on as well now. Of course, we all know that because during this time with this logo remark, Microsoft actually did a full-on rebrand of their products and services to coincide with this, probably to go along with the fact that Windows Phone was just released, and I think what happened is Microsoft decided to adapt their branding system on Windows Phone, and then of course products followed suit, like the desktop version of Windows with Windows 8, the infamous rebrand, the infamous product change which was Windows 8, and then other products like Microsoft Office and so forth would take on this interesting design concept, the flat design, the Metro design concept. The font that is used is Segoe UI, I think that's how you pronounce it, and you can see this, the four blocks kind of resemble the Microsoft, the Windows logo from back in the day, the four different colours, red, green, blue and yellow. And as mentioned, most of the products and services would rebrand to look like this, with kind of like a logo mark and a word mark. So you see the Windows logo with the four boxes, and then Windows and Office with all kind of interesting logo there, and Windows. But this actually goes all the way back to 1995 with the launch of Windows 95. You can kind of see this logo in the advert.
You've heard all about the many fabled wonders of the information superhighway. With Windows 95, it's easy to get on it. Start connecting. Start Windows 95.
You can kind of see also they've reused the colour scheme from the original Windows logo in this. And also, there's a separate action that works with this as well. It's said that these four colours actually showcase the fact that the top four products for Microsoft are contained within these colours. So you've got Microsoft Office with the orange and red kind of colour scheme. Then you've got green for Microsoft Xbox. You've got blue for Windows, and you've got the kind of yellow one for Bing, maybe. Of course, Bing did rebrand. It's now got its own colour scheme now. It's green in that way, but you can kind of see it there. But that is quite a lot of interesting stuff. I could be making some of this stuff up, but I don't know. But let's get on to the next thing. Box art for Windows 8 includes Microsoft Word Mark minus the 4-tile icon mark. So this is how the word mark would have been used for branding and product branding and so forth. You can kind of see that in the Windows 8 professional box art there. They didn't actually use the 4 boxes, they just used the Microsoft Word Mark. But that's just that. This is the Microsoft, the full-blown logo that is used in the Windows 10 box art. This you can kind of notice how the Windows 8 and Windows 10 logos, they're a lot more close together. You can kind of see how the boxes are a little bit closer together. It's kind of thing you can only just see the boxes. You can only just see the lines between the boxes, kind of thing. so you can kind of see it's technically a window in that sense. And I always love how the Windows 8 box art is very interesting to look at. I've actually got a copy of Windows 8 with this kind of like art scheme, so forth, and it's so beautiful to look at. It's very nice as compared to the Windows 10 box art, which is kind of dull and worthy in that way. But this is a little bit of a showcase on how the logos will be put into action in other areas. You can kind of see a black and white invert kind of thing. You can kind of see the logo in just full black, kind of like a black kind of like JPEG or PNG image kind of thing going on. Vector. Got an inverted image with the coloured boxes. You can kind of see this if the store's been advertised. You can download this thing from the Windows Store and so forth. You can kind of see Microsoft Store and get this from Microsoft and so forth. That kind of thing going on there, right there. And this thing in the corner is kind of interesting here because you've got the big logo and then you've got the word marked underneath. You can kind of see this if you ever look at images on Google or I don't know, maybe like Google Maps or so forth. I don't know. You can kind of see this going on outside the headquarters of Microsoft in Redmond. You can kind of see this thing on a kind of a brick slab. You've got the big logo up here, and you've got this thing going on down here. That's technically how it's formatted up at Redmond, you know, with the outside headquarters and so forth. But that is that. Now, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this alongside my kind of like rambling and so forth between showcasing all this stuff. But with that said, if you have any logos or anything you want to see in that kind of sense, if you want to see me go through other brands, logos, and from things like corporations and products and so forth, if you want to see me go through that and so forth, let us know down below in the comments section, if you're watching this on YouTube at least, and we'll see what we'll do. But we've got some new episodes coming up in just a little while. But with that being said, I am Ricky, this is Logo Evolution, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.